Hello fellow modelers, it's Bruce here. Those of you who have followed my videos know I'm a fan of the little Mantua shifters, and that I have quite a few of them, and I've shown this one from time to time in some of the videos as one that I still needed to work on. Dates back to the time when the entire locomotive is die cast, and I got it at some point from eBay, but it did not have a accompanying tender, so I've been looking for a tender for it. And you know, tenders pop up from time to time on eBay, but you know, they were kind of pricey, and I just kept putting off getting one. And you know, finally, I saw this come up on eBay, and I just watched it and didn't do anything. Put it on my watch list. And eventually, it wasn't selling, and the owner dropped it down to $13 and change, and about $7.95, I think, for shipping. So yeah, I decided it was time to pull the trigger and get that tender, and everything else that came with it is just extra. So I looked at it, and isn't the prettiest setup in the world, that's for sure, but the tender looked like it was in good shape, and indeed it is. So this tender will make a nice pair for that locomotive when I repair it and strip the paint and repaint it. And yeah, that'll be a nice setup. So this is what I got as extra. Okay, a couple phone calls later, and just wanted to see what this part of a locomotive is like here. They said it didn't run, so we'll check that out. It's of the error where the boiler casting and the cab, if there was one, was plastic. So you know, a newer vintage than this die cast one. So let's see if indeed it doesn't run. Nothing there, so I think I'll just take it apart real quick. Again, I basically bought it for the tender. At the price that it came down to, it certainly was worth the risk. So even if I can salvage just the motor out of this, it'll be a real bonus. The boiler casting and so forth is missing its front plate and the cab, but it looks like all the other running gear is in place. Alright, let's see what we got here. Okay, it does have a light. That can just pull that out. It wasn't soldered. And let's see if we can get it running from this position. Just putting power to the two brushes. Oh, still nothing. Let's see if we can get this motor off a minute. See what's going on with it. You know, motors on eBay, this particular motor for the shifter and they use it on a lot of their other little locos as well. Yeah, they normally run, you know, anywhere from $8 to $15 plus shipping. So again, if I can get a spare motor out of it, it'll be a real bonus. Alright, let me just get a tweezer to get one of these brushes off. Alrighty, let's see what we got here. Just take this spring and release it. Brush came right out. Plenty of life left in that brush. And commutator is loaded with corrosion and built up grease. That might be the total problem. Let me go get my fiberglass brush. Okay, so you can see the commutator is fairly black. So I'm just going to clean it up with this brush a minute to the point where I can give it a royal try again with some power. See if we have a dead motor or not here. But in the meantime, now that I have the tender for that other shifter, a die-cast shifter, I can put that in the queue for refurbishing. Not that you need to see me do yet another shifter repair, that's for sure. Alrighty, let's see a minute if I can springs, when they come off, get to be a little fussy to get back in place. There we go. Commutator would still need some more work, but I wanted to at least see if there's some hint of hope. Alrighty. And one more time. A little juice to each brush. And still nothing. That's interesting. That is interesting. It's rare, and I don't see anything obviously wrong with the wire winding here. Alright, I will play with this a little bit and I'll let you know whether the motor works. Talk to you later. Okay, well, for those of you who have watched my other videos when I clean up these little motors, you know that normally, besides just cleaning off the faces of the commutator with the nylon brush, that I also take a toothpick and go down the slots between the faces to see if there's anything that would be possibly shorting it out. And I didn't do that on this one, on the video while you were watching, and you saw I had a problem. Now, if you look down here, after I turned off the video, I started going between the faces. And if you see all these streaks on the paper towel, that was all carbon buildup or gunk buildup that was between those faces in those slots, and one of them must have been sufficient to kind of bridge the gap and short things out, and was causing the problem. So I've cleaned out those slots. I wiped off the faces of the brushes, and squeaky as it is, I got some life in there. So I am now going to put a drop of oil on the various bearings in the motor and then see what it sounds like after that. But at least I know that the motor is not dead. But we'll take a look at it now. Let us run in a little bit. Alright. Turn it around this way. Put some juice here. That's feeding the front terminal here, which is this brush. And now I'll do this brush. And that sounds a heck of a lot better. So, $13.95 for my tender and a working motor, if nothing else. Always nice to have a couple of these laying in the spares box, I'll tell you. So yeah, not a bad purchase. I will leave the cleaning up of this chassis and so forth, and maybe I'll start looking to see if I can find another casting of the boiler. This one has quite a crack going right through the smokestack, so yeah, what I have is a chassis with the running gear, a working motor, and the much needed tender for my other rehab there. Alright, talk to you soon. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel.